And welcome to this episode of Parks O'Plenty, my Let's Build series in the game Parkitect. Now, this is the first scenario of the campaign. We completed that scenario, and now we're going to play it all the way out and flesh it out. Now, we've gone ahead and built up a dining area near our little backstage food park area. And that's okay. It's pretty nice. But what I want to do is to kind of move beyond that, right? But we don't have all of the decoration pieces we need for the theming we want, which is kind of an old-timey park and a New England vibe. So for now, we're going to proceed by kind of like, oh, steel coasters available. We're going to proceed with getting more scenery is what we need. So let's take more decorations here, and the other one we'll reserve for shops and rides. But we want to focus here. We want to we're going to remove this carousel, but we're going to rebuild the carousel and this area around it. We're going to buns are going down, good, or the shortage, so buns will go up. Anyway, what we want to do is build basically a themed area around the carousel. But to do that, I'm going to need to get rid of the current carousel. It's not quite where I want it to be, and I don't want to just close the ride and upset a lot of people. So what we're going to do is wait for this line to move, and then I'm going to shut down the entrance to the ride. And there's a guy who went right on over the barrier. And it doesn't look like he's getting in line. And he's not in line. So what we will want to do is we will want to, let's escort him out of the line so he doesn't get all upset and start dragging our numbers down. So anyway, so once we get the carousel all emptied of people, jumpers available. Okay, so things are happening. Having a hard time killing fences when I'm accidentally adding them. Anyway, so we got decorations, and this one we'll use for shops and rides. But at the moment, I'd like a little more variety in our food stuff. So let's take a gander at shops. And anyhow, in this area here, I showed you last time one of the pre-built carousel options kind of has like a plaza with buildings around it, and that's kind of what I want to do. So remembering my trick from episode 1, let's kind of sketch out the ground a little bit, right? So I'll grab some dirt, and what this is, these are the blocks where I will build buildings. They're basically facades, right? And we're kind of going for a look kind of like row houses, right? Good old, like if you ever go to Boston Square, not Boston Square, not Harvard Square, Boston Common. If you go to Boston Common, a lot of the older houses in the surrounding area are row houses, especially those that face into the common. So and then what we'll want to do in front of those row houses is we're going to have kind of a little plaza area, and then the carousel will be in the middle of that. So there's nobody left in line, so we can kill that. And like you said, we're kind of like doing three-dimensional sketching, right? So since I don't have the detailed decorations I need to make this look exactly like what I want, I'm gonna have to fake it until I make it a little bit. So that's why I expanded to 2 research teams, and I'm gonna have 1 team on decorations full time. And once we get all decoed out, we can focus more on rides. But right now, going back to what I said before, what I really want would be brick walls, but we don't have brick walls yet. So Oh, okay, it's the end of the month. So let's take a look at what we're doing here, or how we're doing. So food and drinks is up quite a bit. That's good. That's great, actually. And ride admissions are down a bit, but then we did have a bunch of rain when we started this month. Park admissions are actually holding steady, which is a little unusual. And operating profit, it's a negative, but just a little bit negative. So let's look at what people are looking at or thinking about. So actually, happiness is high. That's the key one, and all the bad measurements are pretty low, except immersion is kind of low. I don't see any immediately red flags. People are having excited about going on rides. People are excited about getting stuff to eat. People are running out of money. Can't afford this juice, so juices are expensive. But it looks like burgers and fries are really, people are finding value in those. So, you know what that means. In classic corporate capitalist fashion, we will raise the price to what the market will bear. And normally, if I'm making a profit, I would, in real life, I wouldn't keep cranking the price up if I'm making a profit. But in this situation, I got some debts to pay here, so now we need to get profitable, and then we need to get very profitable. So we'll kind of nudge that price up a little bit, but so we'll copy that wall, and we'll kind of start fleshing out what we're doing over here. Now the row houses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them only 2 wide. It doesn't matter how deep they really are, because for the most part, the people in the park will only see the front of them. And I'm kind of breaking it up here. I don't want them all to be the same color and look exactly the same. They need to be similar, yes. But, they want them to be thematically similar, but colors will be a little bit different. Right? Okay. So this is our space. I might have to move the teacups sooner rather than later. Okay, so we'll plop down the carousel here. And what I'm thinking is the queue and the exit will be kind of clumped together so that I can include them in a building so that people can stand in line without getting wet. I mean, if you go and see a lot of the classic carousels nowadays, they're almost all indoors. Even when they're outdoors, they're in some type of very custom fit building, because a lot of times they're antiques. I mean, they're like over 100 years old, so they're very, very valuable, and you want to take really good care of them. And of course, keeping guests out of the weather is always a big plus, right? So I didn't mean I don't want to duplicate the teacups. I do want to build a queue like so. Don't need to go up. In this case, and it's not going to be a really long queue, right? While the carousel is a fan favorite for many, it's not most. So anyhow, this coloring, we're going to have to go revisit, right? But we're going to cover it up, so it's not that big a deal. But we'll kind of redo the stuff we did last time. So, well, I think we'll kind of go with the autumnish colors we had before. So we'll have yellows and oranges, reds and browns. Kinda. Bright colors. We'll knock down the maintenance interval to 15 minutes. And change our minimum maximum waiting times. And let's go ahead and give it a proper name. Now, if we're gonna go with kind of a New England theme, how about kind of an American history theme? So riding your steed on the carousel, it's we're going to call it the Ride of Paul Revere. And if you're not familiar with the Ride of Paul Revere, Paul Revere and some of the other patriots were waiting for the British to come to Boston to basically quell the first stages of the revolution. And Paul Revere had set up a signal ahead of time, and he got the signal, one if by land, two if by sea. And once he got the signal, he jumped on his horse, and he and a few others went madly riding down the road to all the neighboring towns to let the colonial militias know that the British were coming. And this then set the stage for the face-off that opened up the American Revolution and then ultimately led to the United States, as opposed to a greater North American British Empire. So what we'll do is we're going to keep the building open, right? We're not going to have it enclosed. We're going to kind of simulate these arches here. And then that's good because we get a nice breeze in the summer. But more importantly, folks can see easily into that space, right? It's easy, it helps maintain a sense of excitement. So then let's add a fountain, because I have this weird little square that I'm not doing anything with. So, you know, people are in queue, standing by a fountain, throw a penny in, make a wish, that type of thing. That'd be pretty cool. And let's take these handy dandy wrought iron fences we put in last time, and let's replace... Oh, I just noticed that it's been another month. So, what's going on? So, there's our research. So things are moving along there. And then, let's see. We've got... We've got the money situation. So food and drinks is going down a little bit, but ride admissions are way up. That's great. Park admissions are down considerably, but it's not a big revenue source. So we actually had a pretty good operational profit for October 1st. And that's great because, you know, it's not necessarily the season. So people are happy. We're looking here. Again, nothing jumps out as really bad. A lot of people had a great time. We're up to 5, so that's great. Fruit juice is making people sick. That's not cool. And some people think it's pretty good value. Of course, not if it makes them sick. Burgers are still coming out as a good value. So, okay. So you know what that means. Somebody, well, I don't know why they're getting sick. I think they're about as clean as I can make them, realistically. Short of camping a custodian in there and hitting it with Windex every time there's a spill. I don't know what else we can do. But, yeah, so, you know, you're in line and you have a nice fountain there to look at, pitch pennies into. And we'll go ahead and grab this wrought iron fence that we came up with in our last episode. And then we'll go ahead and replace all of the default ride fences and the default path fences. What did the exit's not oh, I put a fence across it. There we go. So we can open this now. And it has an excitement rating of 21. So it was, well, 18. So we'll go ahead and bump this price up to $4. So you can see decorations do they do give back, right? It's not purely for aesthetic reasons. They enhance the customer experience. Customers are willing to pay more. So, and like I said, I do want to give good value for the dollar, but I got the bank on my case. So we need to, you know, I wouldn't say charge top dollar, but every place a light would be, I have something in the way already. That's not cool. Okay. Looks like we got a little bit of a vandalism problem. So we'll just manually replace these. Your maintenance workers will fix stuff if they happen to see it when they walk by, but that's a lot of damage can happen before your maintenance guy happens to pass it. So it's a good idea to kind of make a manual pass and manually fix stuff. Okay. So this carousel is definitely taller than a single story. So we want to, oops. Okay. So what I need to do is replace the tree I just killed. And what I'm thinking is this building will actually have two different levels, right? There'll be the higher portion of the building, the taller portion, which will be for the carousel, because that's the tall bit. And then we can put a much lower roof on the line queue, right? So let's add arches here in the middle, so we don't have this wall just kind of floating out in space. See, that looks pretty good. I would still prefer the brick, but I'm really starting this clapboard's really starting to grow on me, so we'll go for these. Oh, so shops, we got one. Let's go back to rides for a while. We'll stick with thrill rides, and these kind of low sloping roofs, kind of a classic roof type in the Georgian era, which it's the Georgian era in the UK. In the United States we call it the colonial era, because of course we have to have a different name. It's kind of like in the United States, the Napoleonic Wars, or at least part of them, were we call the War of 1812, which is that, strangely enough, is like when the war occurred. But you know, in Europe, it's part of the larger Napoleonic Wars, so they don't call it the War of 1812. But okay, now we got the basic building in place, and now we can see it's raised excitement up to almost 23. So that's actually pretty good. And it still doesn't look good, right? I mean, we're getting benefit in even just what we've done so far. Anyway. Oh, a month has passed and I missed it. So let's look. November. Okay, so our food and drinks have gone down considerably. Ride admission's gone down a little bit. And so that's a pretty hefty operating loss. Only in relation to what we've had lately. But, you know, people looking happy except for the people on the Ferris wheel. But, you know, when it breaks down, nobody's happy about that. But we still have 5 people who had a great time. And they're not going to have it's not going to be the same people month after month. So I think our numbers are looking pretty good. So really at this point, it's not for us to succeed. It's really just making sure we don't fail, right? And there's a fine distinction. We are succeeding, and we'll only continue to succeed unless I somehow screw up our golden goose here. So let's go ahead and... I don't want all of that to be the same color. Oh boy. What we want to do... I don't want to make the same color it already is. We will pick something a little contrasty, but still kind of earth tony, right? And there you go. And while we're at it, let's grab these walls and add some over here, similar. Now this one is going to be yet a third color because I don't want it to blend with either of the other two. So we'll pick kind of this light. I didn't pick it. Did I pick it? It doesn't look like light gray. Yeah, okay. So there you go. And we can go ahead and take out this hedge, get most of our money back, because customers aren't going to see that anymore. Now, I'm thinking I'll actually continue the facade facing out of the park, so that you know, if you've gotten to a park as a kid, especially, one of the exciting things is as you're approaching the park, you start to see rides and decorations and stuff facing you as you drive through or walk through the parking lot, and that's, you know, building the excitement early. But since these are supposed to simulate brownstones, of course, are homes. People need to get in and out. So we need doors. And so for these kind of brick colored ones, the federal style is like white trim, right? So we'll have white doors. And we'll want to place these like so. Actually, make that one house. We don't need all that many doors. And then, let's see, for the lighter colored buildings, I'll go ahead and use one door for all of them, but we'll then go with something like a dark brown. So again, the contrast, right? Okay. And there we go. Okay. The thing is, I was looking for these windows and these doors last episode, and I couldn't seem to find them then. Now, I can't see how I couldn't have found them before, but oh well. It is what it is. Windows, again, we want white trim. And I like to lighten up the actual windows themselves, this kind of slate gray. And try to line these up. 4.5. No. Yes. 4.5. One more over though. Oh, Candyland is now available. And we've had another month end. So Candyland isn't going to be a big help in this park. So refreshments are back up. Not quite where they were, but for December, that's pretty good. Ride admissions are up. Again, for December, that's pretty good. Park admissions are way up. For December, that's great. So that's looking good. Let's take a look at our number here. So excitement's now up to 23, which is still low, but it's almost 5 points above what it was before. So we can inch our price up a little bit. Let's take a gander at this. We had this window going, and we want it to move like this. So I have my windows paired up per tile. It's easier to see if I remove stuff. Decoration. Of course, I can't see the wall now, but okay. So I'm just missing the one on this end right here. So that goes here and here. Yep. Okay. And then we can put windows on this wall. That doesn't seem right. It's not right because I wound up with two. Oh, it's the hedge which is messing me up here. So there we go. There we go. Then we can knock this down to 3.5 and move it to the same spots. So that's looking a little better. Again, this is all pretty temporary. Now, I think we could probably use different window style for this building, right? So, now that I have access to windows, let's see what is available. And these wider windows, I think, would work well. Okay, I need to bring it out of the ground. 4.5. And of course, in a facade type building like this, the windows are still useful if they can be opened up for airflow, though that's not necessary with those big arches on the ground floor. But light, right? It's a great way to bring in light, save some energy too. They don't have to light up as much space during the day. You know, the thing is like I said, there's limited decoration options here. That's for sure. And as limited as they are, this is kind of coming out kind of kludgy, but it is coming out better than I expected it to, which is kind of surprising me. So, no, I don't want the round one. Let's grab the square one. Again, we're trying to simulate the brick. And actually, I'll take the black accent. And we'll put it over here in the corner. Put one over there in that corner. It's just a faux chimney. A place for birds to make a nest. Okay, then we want to go ahead and add these trim pieces over here, especially because, as I mentioned last time, Parkitect doesn't give me the ability to make eaves, you know, that bit of the roof that sticks out past the wall to help keep water off the wall and your windows and you if when you come out of the building. So So yeah, it's not quite as good as I would have hoped, but it's still pretty good. And it's a new month, so let's take a look. Get that rid of that. And then the money situation. So it's January, but you know, food and drink is only down slightly. Ride admissions are up, which is pretty amazing for winter. Park admissions are down a little bit, but they're still higher than they were for a while. And so we didn't make much of a profit, but we had an operational profit. So we can see things are pretty stable. I mean, we have up months and we have down months, but things are pretty stable. So once we block out this carousel area, we'll be in good shape to really take it for a spin. Broke. 5 had a great time still. I'm not paying that much for turbo. People still think the burgers and fries are good value. I'm not paying that much for twister. People think juices are worth the money. So it's still... I think it's the jumper was the one that was added. Let's see. I've got a wipeout. Yep. And I have a gravitron and I have a twister. So yeah, it's the jumper they added. Let's look at the excitement levels. 35, 38. And that's with decoration. So it's a thrill ride, but not radically more thrilling than my carousel, of all things. Okay. So let's go ahead and fill out this plaza space now, so guests can come out into the area all around the carousel. And we want to go ahead and populate that space with things like benches and such. Where is the bench? Here's one. Every other block should work. Yep. Okay, and we could add trash cans. So what we'll do is this one's been vandalized, so we'll replace it and then add a bunch on the same wall as the benches. We don't want to put them up against our brownstones because we're simulating that's somebody's house, right? We do need lights though. It's kind of dark over there. That's fine. 3.5 should do it. Every other support will work. And I'm gonna have to rotate it. There we go. It's easier to adjust the height if you rotate it first, I guess. There we go. Won't do anything on this side until we move the teacups and figure out what we're going to do there. Okay, let's go ahead and flesh out these walls a bit. Like I said, we're going to build facades for folks that are viewing the park from the outside. And we'll add a second story to all of these. Brownstones are never a single story. So we're reached that critical phase. I mean, I've been doing stuff like this for a bunch of years, and invariably you get to the phase where you have a vision in your mind, and halfway to achieving that vision, what you're working on does not look right at all. And I'm there. This doesn't look right at all. But I've done this type of thing enough times that I'm gonna forge on ahead, because I think we're just at that awkward stage where it's hard to picture the end result with the way things are now. I mean, it looks... Oh, okay, so the fantasy theme's available, which might help us. Depends on how fantasy the fantasy theme is. Because, you know, New England is not very fantastic. I mean, it is. I enjoyed our time there. There was, I really enjoyed it, but it's not fantastical. How about that, right? You spend time in New England and you're definitely not getting the Middle Earth vibe. Not even the Shire. Not right. It's not even like the Shire. It's too populated to be the Shire. So the month ended. So let's take a gander. We're down to 11,000 cash on hand, but you know, our food and drinks are going back up. We're now reaching the beginning of the spring, so I think things are going to get better. Ride admissions, I think that's the first time we hit 2,000, so that's great. Operational budget is going pretty good, so people are very happy. And thirst is a growing problem, and immersion's a problem, but we're working on immersion right now, and thirst, hopefully we will have some options soon. I think that's the problem, is not everybody wants juice. Things are looking pretty good overall. One guy's not happy about the pricing of the Carousel. It's probably my dad. And there we go. So we're about to get 2 new ones. We just got the fantasy theme, so let's take a look. It is fantasy. Yep, it is fantasy. So what we can do is we can run up here and set these filters. So I'll turn off everything except fantasy. And yeah, it's very much a kind of a kindergarten nursery rhyme type vibe. It's not even fantasy. I'd call it nursery rhymes. Right? Yeah. So this isn't going to help. But, you know, we got to research it because I don't have control over which option they're going to give me. I just say, keep giving them to me until we get it. On a related note, they recently came out with a new DLC for... Oh, Topspin. Okay. So thrill rides. Let's go ahead and go with coasters. What I really want is a traditional, to get that traditional park feel, I want a big white wooden roller coaster, right? Anyhow, they released a new DLC pack for this game, and it's I got it, right? I mean, it's $6. I think it was $6. It's $4.99 or $5.99. I think it's $5.99. And it gives me some dino-related rides and theming, plus some Greek and Roman theming. So, so that's in the mix now. We haven't seen it yet, but just let you know that we might see it. You know, sometimes in a row house they would have a bay window. Why is it? Okay. So let me just do it this way. And make that white. Do a white trim. No, that changed the walls again. And I can't grab from one color to the other. I can do it this way though. 38, 38, 38, 2, 38, 38, 38. There we go. And then this is the same color as his wall. Up. Kinda kludgy. Kinda kludgy. No. Let's just see if I can make this look good. It's really big, which I kind of like, but because of the size of the buildings I have here, it kind of just dominates too much. Oops. Didn't mean to kill the existing wall. So we'll give that a pass. I think we'll just stick with regular windows. But I'm going to go for yet a different style, right? We're going to pick the same colors. So they'll be thematically the same there, but give them this rounded top. This is kind of a more... I'd like to think of it as more of a classic upscale look. I mean, especially in those days, right? Simpler was usually easier, and easier is usually cheaper. So a square window would be cheaper than a window with a rounded top. And of course, if you have some money, you'd want to get a window with a rounded top so you can kind of show off to your neighbors that it's like, hey, look at me, I got money. Because that's real big in the 18th century. It's kind of big in the 21st century too. So we've kind of hoped we've outgrew that, but we didn't. Okay, let's go with the side. I don't know if this side will still be visible. Oh. No. There we go. I don't know if this side will still be visible when everything's said and done, but it's visible now, so I'll go ahead and decorate it. Now, we want to do the same thing for these lighter colored buildings, but just like before, we're going to go with kind of a wood tone, I mean a dark brown frame, right? Like this. And that's another month. So we are now in year 2 and it's April. So we're approaching a proper theme park, amusement park season. So food and drinks is down a little bit. Rides are down a little bit. Park admissions are up a little bit. Not enough though. So we lost $31 last month. But that's okay. Let's see what the people think. People are happy. People are happy. And now, as we go through here, look at that. Scenery here is amazing. So, while it doesn't look all that great to your eyes or my eyes, our current slew of guests are kind of digging it. But like I said, I in the middle, the dawn is always dark. It's always darkest before the dawn, and that I think, even without the right pieces, I think this will look a lot better as we get closer to finishing the building. So we'll continue pasting windows, and let's go ahead and put windows on the second floor. Now, to make these look more like brownstones, we will need to add some accoutrement, some accessories like you know, some pillars and some eaves, or not eaves, awnings, stuff like that. Maybe some garden planters, but call me crazy, but I think it's starting to kind of look better already. And don't feel bad about calling me crazy. I've been called a whole lot worse in my time, but just, you know, been on the planet through enough rotations. That's just how it goes. Okay. Nice. And then we'll just get these brown ones and add them to this white building. I screwed up. I was eyeballing it, and apparently you got my eyes crossed here. That's better. Okay. Oh, no. Those roofs are not sloped enough. So we'll have to go with actual roof pieces. Half slope roof pieces, but we'll go with the same color. Doesn't look like the same color, but game tells me it is. Sure. I need to add some half slope pieces for these other buildings too. The easiest way to do it would be to pick them from here, but just change the colors ahead of time. Spooky structure. Now, spooky structures might have some stuff that works for us. A lot of the haunted house vibe comes from 19th century architecture, right? So, and from stuff from across the Victorian era. And some of that can be, some of that carried over from the 18th century, and some of it certainly was used a lot in our simulated part of the world. So let's see these roof pieces. I might have just painted myself into a corner here. I don't know if I have the right roof pieces for what I need to do in that corner. Oh, and it's the end of the month. So let's take a gander at the numbers. So, but I am starting to like the look of this little plaza. So food and drinks are back up, and it's April. Ride admissions are way down. Did it rain? I didn't notice. So that's another operating loss. Immersion is going up. I think that's a good thing, right? It's going up. Nausea is down. Thirst is really still our main problem. Look at that scenery here is amazing. So that, and 5, I had a great time. Not paying that much for Twister. Yeah, I get it. People are saying juices and burgers and fries are good value. Might have been the same guy for all three. I will say though that I don't want to run my mechanic ragged. So what I want to do is I want to take our current mechanic and I'm going to assign him specifically to the thrill zone. Right? So that's his domain. Because those are our biggest ticket items, and we need to keep them up and running. Now, I'll add another mechanic, and I'll just tell him go wherever. And so he will mostly probably take care of the stuff that's not in the thrill zone. I can't assign more than one zone. So Parkitect guys, it would be great if you could assign multiple zones. But, I mean, you could create a new zone that encompasses 2 zones, but then overlapping zones is problematic. So, okay. So this is the part where I might have painted myself into a corner, which is, ironically, it's an interesting saying because it's in the corner. So that's, it's interesting. So let's see if I have a roof piece that kind of matches the situation I'm in here. And I do. I have a corner piece, right? So this corner piece I can put not there. That won't work. But it will work here. And then see if we have one for the other odd shape. Nope. But it's okay. With the other odd shape, we can get what we want with 2 half slope pieces. So if we do this like that and that gives us the piece we were looking for. And then let's go back to our borders. Which one did I... There it is. And then this should all match with the borders we're using in the other buildings. Well, it will if we make it the right color. But here we go. You know, when we were on our trip in New England, we stopped at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. And that's a pretty impressive campus. I mean, not huge, but it's very, very classical New England architecture, East Coast college vibe. Like it's like stereotypical, like you see in a movie type college, and I like that. Grew up on the West Coast, we didn't have a lot of stereotypical, classical, traditional anything. So, and then with these chimneys here, we just kind of mix and match. Because I don't want to make them all look exactly the same in the exact same place. add a little variety. Yeah, put this one in the middle. Okay, so this is looking a lot better than I thought it would at the time. So that's good. That's really good. And let's see. I'm looking for like planters. This is all building type stuff. You would think they would have like planters listed, or details. That's a lot of stuff, but let's try this. If we change this awning to white, yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. We change it to this kind of blackish. It doesn't. I think it looks even better. Let's add one over here, and let's go back to planters. Oh, here's a clock. I think we could do something with the clock. Okay, let's move it like this. Gotta find a place to hang the clock where it's visible. Let's try bringing it up a little bit. Need it in the wall. I think that's it. I don't see. Yep, that's it. Okay. And then, still thinking about planters. Oh! There's planters. So which of these will work? That's a little too rural. I want something a little more urban, but these urban planters just have a hedge in them. I wanted something more like flowers. Oh, TV program had a segment about Paul Revere. Good. Well, let's take a look at this. Right, we got the TV segment, so that's going to bring people to this carousel we've been working on. And oh, look at the time. Okay, so this will probably be it. Let's look. So we have reached to May, and we have food and drinks are fairly strong. Ride admissions are pretty strong. Park admissions are up. It's a season. We actually had a little bit of a profit, even with a second mechanic. So money-wise, we're holding steady, which is what I expected. We haven't done anything really to increase income massively. Happiness is very high. Immersion is growing. A lot of people are broke. Scenery here is amazing. It's up to 7. Ferris wheels waste time. Yes, when it breaks down, you get stuck. I'd be unhappy too. Fruit juices are making people sick. Park entrance fee is a good deal. I haven't seen that in a long time. But that's because, you know, the immersion's going up. So, again, we're not going to lose. It's not going to get worse from here unless I really screw something up. We're just going to do better and better. And so, there you go. There you have it. This is where we're at. Now, the next episode, we will want to kind of press on. We might add a new thrill ride just to kind of beef up our numbers. And then it looks like the Ferris wheel and or the teacups will be the next target of theming. And we might do something with the center walkways as well. So I'm really liking these wrought iron fences. We might use them all throughout the park in the main arterial. But with that said, I got a lot done. I'm pretty happy with the results. I enjoyed myself, which that works for me. The question is whether you enjoyed yourself. I hope you did. And I hope you enjoyed yourself enough that you'll come back next time. I would love for you to leave a comment if you have a favorite theme park or ideas, comments, tips, suggestions, just random daydreams, meanderings. Go ahead and post those too. We'll take them all. But until next time, I hope this finds you and yours in good health, good spirits, and perhaps a touch of good fortune. Cheers.